When I grew up, we didn't have the tape deck. We didn't have any of that. I had the Machine War SOUNDWAVE, and it looks like they left it in the sun. I guess.
Look at the con acting like a con. I love it.
Well, you're gonna have to just have a Pengu Toys Optimus shelf for Nemesis and Ultra Magnus and Delta Magnus and what else? Shattered Glass
and Evo.
Hey, that's you. You saying it, not me.
If this is your cup of Energon, all for it. Go for it. Welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm your guy Bot, aka Bobby.
And I'm your Con, aka James.
And we're back with the news for the weekend. Hopefully you didn't miss us too much. We want to start off though by saying thank you to our sponsor, The Chosen Prime. Again, you can always find some of these figures on their website. There was actually some big news today that came out from their website, so I'm sure we'll get into that. We also want to thank our subscribers. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click that button and be a subscriber to join us on this journey. Or you can even go a step further and become one of our members. We really do appreciate the members. And James, I'm sure you have something to detail who some of our members are.
Yeah, so if you want to be on the screen like the other names that are flashing before your eyes right now, go ahead and become a member. It really helps us out. We appreciate you for supporting us. And to all the members out there, thank you so much for joining us on this journey, and we're excited for what's to come.
Yes, polls and everything coming up soon, so stay tuned.
Yes, and so
go ahead.
I think that's it. So I think we're good to get into the news. So we do have some stuff that is interesting, but not very relevant, I guess. I don't know what to say. I guess Transformers Rise of the Beast was nominated by the People's Choice Awards for Action Movie of the Year. And I am very curious on how much that studio paid to get them to be nominated. It wasn't a bad movie. I could see the layman liking it. Taking a step back from being a Transformers, I think it was fine. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if there were any other good action movies that came out last year.
John Wick 4.
I didn't watch it.
That had some crazy, unbelievable type action in it. I mean, I definitely need to get his jacket so I can fall down 772 stairs and get up and just start walking again like it's nothing, and get shot.
Make sure you get two of those.
Yeah, so yeah, so I mean, it was definitely unbelievable. I'm sure there were some others, but this one just caught me by surprise. I did not think of the action in this movie. I don't think it was like ongoing. There was like two scenes I can think of: the museum scene and then the final fight. But the action in between there,
I think they just labeled it an action movie because it's a toy brand based off of boys' toys. I don't know. It's an action movie, just like how some of the Marvel movies are action movies, but they're really more dramas. But I think it's cool still to see Transformers in the limelight, and I'll be interested to see if it wins because I don't even know what it's up against.
Yeah, the only thing I can't remember all of them, but I definitely can think of John Wick 4.
Did the Fast and Furious Fast X come out? I think it did come out last year. I could see that being a contender.
Early last year, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, this isn't a movie channel, so we're going to leave it there. Let's move on to some con news. I don't even know what that is, but I will definitely be Ebert. So here we go. We've got New Jersey Comic Con. It'll be March 2nd and the 3rd, which is kind of cool. There's free parking, and I guess it'll be at the Holiday Inn in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And there's, I guess, the 2nd is going to be the action figure toy show, and the 3rd is the G.I. Joe show and collector meetup. Oh. So it'll be $20 for early bird, $10 for general admission. So if I was in the area, I would definitely be going for those prices, especially.
Those prices, yeah, I'd go as well.
Yeah, so it looks fun. Let us know if you guys are in the area and going.
Yeah, please do.
Another con, we've got RetCon, which is in Sweden, and it'll be in the Elite Hotel Ideon in Lund, September 28th, 2024. So the theme is Transformers animated. I know you are very sad that you can't make it, but if I could go to any European convention, it'd probably be this one, just because I want to go to Sweden and Norway and stuff.
Well, with that being said, okay, I'm with you. I have to be honest with you. I just finished season 3 of Transformers Animated.
Really? You
today.
Watched all of it? Wow.
It. Me and my daughter watched all of it. And yeah, it's not something I'll watch again, but I can say I watched it. My company is actually based out of Norway, so I would love to go for that purpose as well. This threw me off though with the celebrating 40 years of Transformers, and then I saw Transformers Animated. I was like, that doesn't go together, but so be it.
I think they tried to do something different from TFCon LA. Honestly.
Yeah. Could have did something
all right,
different.
Well, again, if you are across the pond in Europe, let us know if you're going to be going to this one. Now back to TFCon LA, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think it's Alex Milne? Either which way, I know this name. He's done a lot of the art on the recent comics. He's a really talented artist, and it's really cool that he'll actually be at TFCon LA. I don't think I've read anything that he's drawn. I don't know if he's a writer, but I'm not a big fan of some of the arcs, because you can see Autobot and Megatron in the background right there.
I definitely don't like that. I wanted to pick up the Transformers versus Terminator, but I never got around to it. Go figure. So it's cool that he was involved in that. As you said, I don't know if he was a writer or artist or what, but it
says comic artist, so I'm gonna go with he's just a artist. I think they would say writer.
Okay.
And artist. I'm assuming for TFCon, which you know what they say about assuming.
Make an ass out of you and you.
Doesn't work that way, Bobby. But yes, but I think it's really cool. I think they're really trying to have a big Transformer celebration for the 40th anniversary, because I know these comics are very near and dear to a lot of people.
I think this is, it makes sense. It's shaping up to probably be the best one ever, but this is just amazing so far for me.
Yeah, well, let's talk about more amazing things. This could have technically went and released, but I had to put it up, and that is TCP's Machine Wave. So this is the annual holiday exclusive, the first annual holiday exclusive, and it's MB19D from Fans Hobby, and this was from the Chosen Prime, which is our sponsor, and it was designed by friend of the channel, Get Right Robot, which we did interview. Maybe we'll get another one for this one of these days. But I think this thing looks amazing. Why don't you go ahead and then I'll finish up.
Yeah, this was actually something that we've talked about for a while between you and I. This is definitely not my SOUNDWAVE, so I'm glad. I love the name Machine Wave. I can go with that. The figure itself, we both have. I know you have the exclusive from TFCon mold. I have all 3 of the previous molds, so I'm glad to see this one. I like how they kept the missiles from the previous exclusive. I love, and I'm sure you'll show it, I love the mini cons that come with it. That was, Rat Bat, Frenzy, Rumble. I thought that was really, really cool that they did that instead of, something else. And your Frenzy, my Rumble, or your Rumble, my Frenzy, however way you want to say it. Yeah. But I thought this was really cool. I'm curious to see how all 3 of them plug in, or if all 3 of them can plug in at the same time. In alt mode or in no, not in bot mode, but curious about that. But it looks great. Each one of them looks highly. The paint on it looks, really, really good on it. I'm just amazed at the work he does. I'm glad that we're getting another exclusive, and I'm glad I got mine.
Yeah, I got mine too, and this is my childhood Soundwave. When I grew up, we didn't have the tape deck. We didn't have any of that. I had the Machine War Soundwave, and then I had the Mutant Soundwave, but that one I don't consider a Soundwave. So this has always been one of the things that I see as Soundwave, and I'm very ecstatic to get this. This is probably... I don't know how 2024 is going to shape up, but I can see this already being the best figure of the year just because of the nostalgia it has for me. I don't think anything else is going to do that, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get a Rapticon from Transart, and that'll change everything. But I love this thing. I cannot wait to get it. Like you said, I did already pay it. Mine already shipped, actually. Hopefully it gets here soon. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think this thing looks really good, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection.
The other thing I want to point out, and I don't know if you have any pictures, I'm assuming you probably didn't since you didn't click on it yet. The box art is amazing.
Yeah. So I left that out on purpose because I thought we could show it in person when we do a little review on this guy, because that box art looks so good, and I think it needs to be in hand for it to get the full picture of it, literally.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. I think both of us want to do something on this because it looks great.
I'm there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to some leaks. Not very interesting, but Transformers 1 had some things leaked. No, just because there's no pictures. You're putting words in my mouth with that laugh.
I didn't say anything.
There's one steps, power flips, battling, 2-in-1 masks, mega changers, and then there's Platoon High Commander and Ultimate Energon Admiral. So this is a kids movie, and they're aiming all of the toys at kids. That's what I'm getting off of these listings. That's what their demographic is. Maybe there's going to be an adult collectible one, but I don't know if we're going to see it. I think it's going to be a Cyberverse. You remember like those Cyberverse toys that were like $19.99? I think that's what this movie is going to be. It's not going to be like Studio Series or anything like that.
I agree. I think just looking at some of the images that we've seen of the characters and the figures and things, it probably is. I'm still gonna go watch it, and I hope to enjoy it and all that. But if the figures take on kind of an animated or a Cybertron or that kind of theme of characters, I'll be skipping on it. But it's perfectly fine.
I mean, I was planning on skipping these figures anyways, because I don't like the skinny designs from the silhouette that we saw.
Right.
But you never know. They might have some weird monster figure that's fun.
Who knows?
For me, at least.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into what has been just announced. And the first thing, we've got Skybound's Transformers number 7. They're going to have 6 this time covers, A through F. It'll come out in April 2024. And this is a pretty cool cover. I do like it. It looks like they got some new recruits, if my eyes aren't deceiving me.
Yeah, I see Elita 1 up there.
I think that's the only new one.
Yeah.
I think all of the rest of them were in it. But, it's pretty cool. And they're obviously on the Ark, so that's pretty cool, too.
I'm going to go to a comic book store this weekend. I've talked to a buddy of actually friend of the channel, one of the members. I talked to Mike D on here, and he lives in the neighborhood, and we talked about where a comic book store is over here. So I'm going to go this weekend. So shout out to Mike.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike. Go ahead and get him to get all the covers like he already was planning to. Next, we've got Transformers Masterpiece MPG-07 Gino, the official reveal. If you guys watch Kitchen Nightmares, you know what I'm referencing. And I'm just gonna say this figure just looks like the normal figure but yellowed. It looks like they left it in the sun. I guess this is the Diaclone colors, but what do you think about this?
I was thinking more of a stick of butter, but You know,
it looks like that too. But like Hasbro
it,
figures yellow. I'm like, this looks like that.
Honestly, in this mode, it looks great. I was going to pick these up. Honestly, I was going to pick these up, and I was trying to. I blocked it out. I saw this, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'll get these because they're in a different color. And then I won't necessarily compare them as hard to the Moon Studio set. So let me see what the price is going to be. And then I saw another picture of how it looked, and I was just like, gosh, that's terrible.
These ones?
No, the combined mode.
Oh, well, we'll get to that then.
Yeah.
But here are the bot modes. I don't know what this briefcase thing he has is. I think it's a combiner part. I think it's kind of cute because it's like a gun, but a briefcase, and But I think the problem with this figure is the original one was white, where the yellow is. So all I can see is a figure that was left out in the sun. And I'm sure it's very accurate to the Diaclone colors. I'm not, giving any slack to anybody, but that's just what I see.
I see him going to work with a lunchbox, like he's going to work on the rails, so he's like working on the railroad tracks. And so that part threw me off. I mean, until you look at the gray parts of the weapon and you see the barrels, that's where I can actually see a gun. But otherwise, it's like, what is he? Why does he have a lunchbox?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And here is the combined mode. I have nothing nice to say, so it's not my cup of energon. Let me say that.
Bam! That I think that's going to be the term. Thank you all for all the comments about what we should use, but not my cup of energon definitely stood out. It actually made me laugh when I saw it, and this is definitely not my cup of energon as well. That kibble on the legs.
I was just about to say the legs are the worst part.
Yeah, I mean,
not the legs themselves, but just how
the kibble.
I just take them off. I just take them off and leave them
guns.
to the side.
It's supposed to be 2 guns, and that looks like not 2 guns.
And the wings are what kill me too. Or they're those little gray things, and you can't even see them in bot mode. So, all right, well that's enough. Bobby already went, I think, on a 10-minute rant on this in a previous video. So go find that. I don't remember which one that was. That was fun though. And let's move on to some other stuff that's gonna make him mad. So Funbee Studios has the flame effect part for Optimus, and this is pretty cool. I mean, I got nothing against this. I think it's a cool little add-on set.
I'm right there with you. And honestly, now that I've watched animated, Prime looks short and chunky and fat and needs to be stretched out and taller.
Wasn't that what I was saying?
Yes. So
that's what I've been saying since day one that this was shown off.
Yes. So I can actually talk about these and continue to not like them with now saying that I've watched the show and I do not like these. But I do like this part, and that axe looks really cool. But I like the little flame on it. That really makes it look good.
Makes it come to life.
The weapon is probably the best thing I like about this figure.
I think the head sculpt's good, but I understand why you don't like it. It's good from a technical point of view, even if you don't like it. But I think maybe with this figure, if the torso had a part that snapped out to make it longer, that might have been better. But anyways, we're not talking about the figure. We're talking about this flame part, and it looks good. Yeah. So let's move on to another upgrade set, and we have DK50 upgrade set for Studio Series Snarl. It looks fine. It's what we expected. He has these cool little blast effects. And then he covers it up and has a sword. So are you going to be picking this up?
I actually thought about it. And there's one reason I thought about it. I think it's $25 for the set. And for those who've watched the video, I actually got my Snarl for, I think, $17 or something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the money I saved, I could technically add it to this kit or get this kit with that. And it would be still cheaper than what this figure cost. So I would still be winning.
Well, I mean, if you consider that winning, but yes, I think it looks good. I like the sword.
The sword.
Yeah. And I think the sword looks great. He should have already came with the sword. I've expressed on this channel before, Dinobots without a sword don't make sense to me. So that's why I didn't pick up that Grimlock, the original one, and I won't pick up any of the other ones until Swoop comes out, because that's just my favorite one. But yeah, it looks fine. I wouldn't blame you if you pick this up, especially if it's only 25.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. And again, my biggest gripe with Hasbro figures is all the gaps that you have to buy these kits for. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if DNA was a subsidiary of Hasbro,
or one of the designers or something like that, making a quick
it's like, right, here's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna have this second line of income. Because I mean, it seems like the gap fillers come out like a year before
the figures come out sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just like, how did you know? So yeah, so this looks good. It does its job, and I like the blast effects and things.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on, we got this. It's DL01 Hercules Kong, 28 centimeters, and the recommended retail is $329. They didn't say what $329, if that's dollars or won or yen. I don't know. It's probably not any of those, though, because that'd be really little. But, you know, I think it's made by the same people that did the Triptychon.
Yeah, it's a KO of the New Age Michael.
Oh, that's the New Age one? And that's what I was going to ask you, which one it is, and how many of these you're going to be buying.
None.
Oh, come on.
None.
You know they're going to come out in some funky color, and you're going to have to get it.
Yeah, I think I'm Omega'd out. I literally have a case with just Omega Supreme in it. And
so you wouldn't buy this color right here if this
came out
and was painted nice?
I do not like. I mean, it would. This is clearly a prototype. Hopefully, I hate these colors. You know, maybe if they did like a mustard colored one. You know, I know you hate yellow, as you talked about in the previous episode. I may or may not be tempted to, but honestly, I'm kind of Omega'd out, and I definitely don't need any more Legends Omegas. So it's kind of like, I think I'm good. The part that's throwing me, and I don't know if it's for size comparison or what, but the little mini bot or Minicon that in the orange that's down there. I don't remember Omega.
I think that's the KO of, I think it's Countdown that came with the Hasbro one.
Oh,
I could be wrong. But that's what it looks like to me.
And and you're probably correct, because I know the one in black is supposed to be the Doctor that came with the the DX9 one, and then it was scaled down for the Pangu Toys ones, I believe. And so that would be kind of cool if it did come with this one, because the New Age didn't come with either of these.
Yeah, so there you go. That's why you have to buy them, so you can have all the little guys to go with them.
I'm good.
So, next, we've got Spark Fade Prime Commander. These are, Dr. Wu has said the quantity is really limited. Whatever that means. And this one's actually pretty cool. I really like the red and the blue on this. Even if it wasn't all messed up, I think this would have been cool. And, it's really traumatizing to see him, dead on the ground. But I think this is a good repaint.
It is a good repaint. It's just, it brings me back to that moment in the movie, man. I mean, like, geez. So I ordered it.
I knew you were going to. So here is Dying Optimus, and here is Dead Optimus. And this one comes with the trailer and stuff. And again, it looks fine. And here he is going up the elevator to heaven right here. And again, it looks fine. Did you order this one as well?
I did.
Really? Oh, I thought they already came out with this in other colors, so I didn't think you were going to be picking it up.
Honestly, so now I'm looking for, and I pre-ordered.
You're looking for a reason to buy.
No.
Legends figures?
No, I'm looking for figures that I don't have a representation of in MP scale that I can put with my Metroplex now that I have that. And Dr. Wu seems to scale the best. And so I'm looking for figures that I don't have. I did put an order in for the Ultra Magnus though, in it, in the Toon colors, I believe. I may cancel it. I don't know yet, but I'm trying to see. There's not a lot of figures that Dr. Wu, now that I'm looking at them, there's not a lot of figures or a lot of characters that they've made that I actually like, that I would want to have. So that's what made me get these two in particular.
Yeah, I think you'll be happy with them. They look cool.
I think so as well.
Yeah. All right. Next, we've got this. This is from Black Apple or Black Mamba. That's, it's kind of out there. And it looks like it's a trailer, I'm assuming, for their KOs that they came out with for the movie primes. Which is cool that you'll be able to, if you guys collect these, you'll be able to get it. And I don't think they came with the trailer originally, so even if you have the official ones, you can always get this.
I like how it has that big unit on the back, on the front of the trailer.
The refrigerator part?
Yeah, I like that aspect of it. That's a lot of detail that we don't see on these. At least I haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think that it'll be fine. And hopefully it'll be big enough that maybe it could fit on other characters that aren't for the movie.
Yeah, or at least have an adapter or something like that you can use.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's keep it going. And next we've got this. This one kind of threw me off guard. We've got Like Toys Unicron. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any information on this, so I don't know if you do, other than they're making a Unicron, which is kind of funny because they haven't even shown off anything about their Metroplex.
I'll believe it when I see it now. At this point in time, I don't want to say I've given up, because I haven't. This is very cool. Let's start there. It's very cool. Looks like it could be great. I've seen some of their kits, and I don't know if we're going to talk about one or not, but
we are.
I've seen some of their kits, and their kits look amazing, but are too expensive for. I'm not ordering that cup of Energon.
Yes, and we'll get to that. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But
yeah, I can only
how
imagine
expensive this is going to be.
This is going to be, if it's 3D printed, how expensive this is going to be, and then if it's supposed to be in production, well, then I definitely don't believe that until we get their Metroplex out and see how that's going to do. So this is nice to see, but this is like a pipe dream right now to me.
Yeah, it looks good. It doesn't look like it transforms. So good for them, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about some updates now. And the first thing are these Chinese warrior copper statues again by Tong Shifu. We've got Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, and Grimlock. Optimus Prime is 49 centimeters tall. Megatron is 42. Bumblebee is 47, and Grimlock is 31. I don't know why Megatron's so small compared to the rest of them.
Compared to Bumblebee.
Thank you. Look at how small Grimlock looks compared to them.
Yeah.
But either which way, they look good. There's a ton more pictures online. I didn't want to put them in here just because they look the same because they don't move. They all look the same as these pictures right here. But they're very highly detailed. I really like how Megatron has purple flags and stuff. I think that's a cool detail. Bumblebee has blue. It's the same with Grimlock, and Optimus is red. So I think all of that makes sense, and they look good for what they are. But they're not focused at me or you transforming figure collectors. They're aimed at, statue collectors.
Yeah, I saw the back of Megatron, and the treads and everything looked really good on the back of his arms and legs. But yeah, that size would totally throw me out. Even if I was interested in it, it would throw me off of the Megatron. That's crazy. He's so small.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's like they're measuring it to the top of that spear thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Who knows? All right. Next in non-transforming Transformer news, we've got 3 zeros MDLX Transformers Skywarp, and this looks a lot better, in my opinion, than those copper ones, and that might be because it's actually posable, and that speaks to me. But it looks good. I don't really like the toe hooks that he's got going on. Do you see those? I'm like, what is going on with that?
I was literally looking, I was like, I don't remember seeing this on anything before because I hate it.
Yeah, me too. They should just be flat, like a lot better. Yeah. So
everything else,
the rest of the figure looks great.
Yeah, I love him down to his ankles.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's continue, and now let's move on to something for me. So Takara Tomy has shown off some Commander Magmatron. It's their official reveal, which is kind of surprising because I thought it would have already been revealed already. But I'm very happy to see that it looks like the bottom of the Loch Ness Monster, as I'm going to call him, is solid. I thought it was going to be gappy. So I think that looks really good. I'm glad to see that. And the Magasaurus mode looks better from this angle. It's fun. Like, every Transformer from Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo had these like third modes that were obviously just the designers just mistransforming them and stuff. And this one's. I'm glad they added it. Will it ever be in this? Probably not in my collection. But I think this is better than most of the Hasbro stuff that's been coming out.
They are in a Congo line. That's what I'll call it now. That's.
Oh my god. Congosaurus, not Magmasaurus, Congosaurus.
That's what I'm going with. My initially when I first saw these figures in the position that they were in, I went somewhere else, and I don't think I need to go into detail, but I saw some pictures of me on the cruise ship from a few years ago, and this is what I thought of. And so they are on a booze cruise, and that's the designers were on a booze cruise. And that's why they came up with these figures. And they said, I bet you we can make something and we're going to get some people that are going to buy it.
Hey, it worked. They need to do more of that when they design these Transformers. But yeah, so I think this looks good, though. I have no complaints, especially after seeing that the wrist swivel and it has an ab crunch. I'm happy. So I will be picking this up. But let's move on to something that'll make you happy, because I don't think you have to say how much that this is not Transformers for you. And that is this Wheeljack. What is it?
Origins?
It's the behind the scenes of Origins Wheeljack. There you go, Origins. So a few things, notes that the designers shared. I think it's Mark Clonus. He said the blast shield, which we'll see in a little bit, actually comes apart and can make a track for it, which they saw in G1, the first G1 episode. The transformation sequence resembles the exact transformation from the cartoon. The bottom of the vehicle mode sits on a few tabs, which makes it hover, so like Jazz. And the buzzsaws on the front bumper were designed to also be used as Dominator discs. I didn't know Wheeljack had buzzsaws, and I didn't know what a Dominator disc is. So, let's look at them. So what do you have to say about this bot mode?
I think he's ready for the winter season with those snow boots on. But I get it. He has the boots with the fur. The boots with the fur, so he's ready for it. Because of what he transforms into, I'm perfectly fine with it. And I think this actually looks okay. I think it looks good. Okay. I'm happy with it.
Okay. And here are the blast shields that I talked about. So that's cool that they added this feature. It becomes like a jetpack wing thing. At least it does something. And there's the buzzsaws on the front as well. I guess he's chopping people up. You got to let me know, Bobby.
Yeah, I do remember that, and that made me happy as well. That they went into adding that on. That's really cool. I love the blast shields. That's really cool. I'm stoked about this. Yep.
And here's the vehicle mode, so you can fit Bumblebee in him. Sounded bad. But you have to transform Bumblebee. So he doesn't just slip in, which again makes sense because of the wings. I don't give him too much flack for that, but I can see where people would be disappointed.
I was a little disappointed, but looking at, and do I have Bumblebee out? No, I do not have him out. I get it, because otherwise this figure would have to be huge. I mean, when Bumblebee got shot and slid into him, he transformed inside of Wheeljack and was holding those. Yeah, exactly. He was holding those. I can't remember what they were called, but those energon stick things, rods, and he was walking around in Wheeljack. So they definitely couldn't make it that big for him to do all that. So I'm very happy with this. Very happy.
I'm very glad you're happy with it. I think the alt mode looks fine. I think the bot mode might be the worst bot mode of 2023 so far. It looks horrible. I hate it. And that's just my opinion. Y'all could disagree with me. That is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own opinion. The alt mode looks fine. The bot mode with the boots and the fur, it looks so lazy. I love that term. I can't stand it. And I cannot believe this is a Voyager class figure when it is the same size as Jazz. That's ridiculous. Yeah, he has more plastic. I don't care. It's the same size as Jazz was. Jazz was small to begin with. This, I'm going to say it again, just like the animated Bumblebee, this is how they get you to pay $40 for a deluxe, because everybody's going to buy it. And they're going to go to their shareholders and say, oh, well, this size works for $40. And then you're going to get $40 deluxes and $30 core classes and 50, so on and so forth. It's all going to go up. You don't have to like everything Hasbro does. You don't have to be compliant with them, and you can still love Transformers like me. This is ridiculous that they're going this far. I can't stand it. For that point alone, he should not be $35. Think of how empty that box is going to be.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be full sideways.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and maybe because they added the extra things with the blast shield, maybe that's the price point, increase. But I think this is very. It makes the future, makes me less optimistic for the future of Transformers, because we're gonna get these subpar designs for way more than we need to.
I completely agree with you 98% of the way. And this is my 2% why I will pay extra for this is because we've never had this character in this way. As you mentioned, the things that they've added to this figure make it seem better than the other figures that are released at this price point that don't have any of this stuff, don't do any of these things, and that's where the difference is for me.
Okay, for me, I would say the larger Voyagers, like Tarn that we got, even though I think that he's still small, but he's an inch or two bigger than this and whatnot. The size makes them better, honestly, and makes the price point. Because when I want to buy $40 for something, I want to feel like it's substantial. If I got this, I would not feel like it's substantial. And they just folded everything on his back. I know they can't do third-party levels of engineering, but they couldn't have figured out how to put that into bulk or something. But they did say that I guess this is the way, the right scale that he should be.
Well, he should be the same size as Jazz and all, kind of that. But Hasbro also sold a $575 figure that was a planet, and everything just folded up on the back of his legs.
Which I still complain about as well, and that's why I didn't buy it.
So
I mean, it's horrible. You have to put a stand. You have to use a stand because they couldn't design it well enough to transform without the stand.
But that's why I say it's those one-off figures that they get me on, at least.
Yes, they get you on. For me, I'm looking, especially if I don't care about it. But even, let's say Magmatron had this level of kibble, and he has some with the tail and stuff. But like if he had this, where it was just lazy kibble, I wouldn't be getting him. Honestly, I have to put my foot down somewhere, and even if it's just me, you got to stick it to the man, because Hasbro, it's not a working relationship between us. They take money. So the only people that could show them that it's not cool with what they're doing is us. And I'm talking to all of you guys out there too. So tell them with your wallets. Don't tell them with your with the comments online and the niceties. So
look at the con acting like a con. I love it.
Am I a con though? Because it feels like I'm more like an Autobot fighting for the people.
I mean,
against the tyrannical Hasbro.
I mean, to you, that's kind of what the Decepticons were doing anyway, going against
that is what Megatron did. Yeah, I guess so. So yeah. All right, enough ranting about this figure.
Good job, James.
I do want to get it though because it's hollow, and I want to throw it against a wall and see how many little pieces it breaks into. Because that would be a good video. Let's move on to SUV Chrome Dome. It looks better with the canopy up because it doesn't look so much like an SUV. But I like the little figure, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
I mean, he looks like he's in the first class seat I want to be on when I fly to Europe. You know, like, I mean, he is like reclined all the way back.
He's comfy.
Mean, yeah, geez, that's that extra comfort plus right there. Yeah, I don't like this at all. So I'll be skipping this. I do want to see. I haven't seen anything online. I haven't looked either, but of it in color in bot mode, because that was what I really wanted to see it in. I do not like the alt mode at all, but I do want to see it in bot mode in color and see if that makes a difference.
And I find it so crazy that clean bot mode turns into this mess of an alt mode.
Yeah, it's just...
like it looks. This looks like a old Fans Project or Make Toys figure with all the hard lines and angles and stuff. While the bot mode looks more like a more modern figure. So I don't understand it. But
yeah, it's very blocky, very chunky, very ugh.
Yeah. All right, next we've got Pengu Toys BTO and Commander. It is coming out. They're making all the pieces and whatnot. So that's really cool. I'm sure you'll be excited to get this and all the repaints.
No. Don't wish that on me.
I already know what's happening. It's Pengu Toys, Bobby.
I already don't know where I'm going to put this one at.
Well, you're going to have to just have a Pengu Toys Optimus shelf for, Nemesis and Ultra Magnus and Delta Magnus and what else? Shattered Glass.
And Evo.
Hey, that's you. You saying it, not me.
I actually am waiting for, and I don't know, I guess I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I was waiting for Magic Square to come out with the white version of Prime in the MP scale with, their second run of it with the more alloy in it that you got, you got the
I would version. I would pick that up too. But maybe they won't, and I won't have to buy a second Magnus. So,
yeah. Jeez, I don't know where I'm going to put this thing at.
All right, well, let's move on to this. Where are you going to put this thing? This is Like Toys TFC Abominus kit. So this is $333 after all the PayPal fees and all that stuff. You don't need hunger, which is good because who knows if TFC is ever going to release that.
I know.
And I'll go first because mine's going to be quick. I don't have the TFC Abominus. I'm not a fan of having this big shield on the chest. I like it better when it's like a chest piece and then it kind of comes down into a loincloth. I know this is too inaccurate, so I understand it. So it's not my favorite, so I wouldn't be skipping on this to begin with. But I can see why somebody like you who has all of these figures just wants to have a Abominus on your shelf.
I'm sitting here and honestly, I'm glad I waited because I actually picked up these figures last year. And so I haven't been sitting on them as long as some of the other people have. This is crazy to be waiting this long for them to finish the combiner. geez, come on. I don't want to finish it paying $333, you said, for it. It looks good, but I can't do it. And all their kits look good. You don't need the main bot, and that's great. But I just can't spend that much for, what you spend on that connector piece is what you spend for 3 figures, if not more figures. So
yeah,
it's I don't see doing that. And this is why I have a hard time believing the Unicron will be anything that's in my comfort level of budget purposes, yet alone the Metroplex. Again, I can get down with because it transforms and it's supposed to be produced instead of 3D printed. I just can't do it with these. They look good though, and I've heard nothing but great things about them. I just can't fork out the money to do that though.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't to begin with, but would you buy Hunger if he is $333 by himself?
Yes, because at least he's going to
transform. So it's just not a kit.
Because at least he's going to transform, and I can, do stuff. And I get the figure, plus I can transform it into this. With this is it. If I decide to break them down into individual bots, this is worthless.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, well, let's keep it moving to that Legends Triptychon. Poseidon, the KO, I think. Yeah, this looks fine. I have nothing really to say about this, except you could kind of see his funny head sticking off the back.
It's exactly the same from what I remember of the Hasbro version. So it's just a smaller version. So, which is fine because I actually really liked that Triptychon. It was I had the original Triptychon, and that was cool when it walked and all that stuff. And then when this came out, Titan's Return, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I was really happy with it at that time, and it looks great. I don't need to buy another one at legend scale for a figure that's several years old.
Yeah, I agree. But it looks interesting. I'm glad people are getting it that want it.
Yeah.
Next, we've got BioWay TW1103 Deluxe Explorer Elder. So I think we've already seen this, so I'm putting it here. It's the Studio Series Jetfire KO. Not much to say. I'm not a big fan of this version of Jetfire. I wish they just gave him a name, and I know people say you shouldn't have done that, but this is completely different from any other version of Jetfire. I love the alt mode, though. I think the alt mode's amazing.
The alt mode is gorgeous. I remember watching the movie, and I was just like, oh. And then he transformed. I was like, oh. It's not doing it for me at all. I mean, he's so old, but his alt mode looks so sleek and
yeah, that didn't make sense either. He's supposed to be there since like before World War I or something like that. It's like, but he turns into the new Jet. I don't know. Anyways, the combined mode does look pretty cool. I do like this. Will I be getting it? No, but I do think it looks cool, and I wouldn't blame people for putting this on the shelf.
Yeah, if this is your cup of Energon, I love that. If this is your cup of Energon, all for it, go for it. Send us some pictures. Let us see what it looks like in hand. But like you, this wouldn't make it on my shelf. But it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about incoming. There's only one thing in incoming and nothing that's recently released, and that's New Age's Exhaust is getting shipped to retailers. And again, I have no complaints. I think this looks a lot better than the Wheeljack, and I've always liked Exhaust, but I would rather get the MPKO, which I still eventually want to pick up.
Yeah. I mean, they're still out there. I actually saw some online the other day. Actually, I was looking for some stuff to add to my January haul.
Well, that's what I thought.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kidding. I did not pick this version up. I did pick up the Shattered Glass version, so I'll be happy when that actually did ship. So I should be getting that in a few days. So If you got exhaust, let us know what you think of it. I do not like the big chest, but the shattered glass version is going to go with the dinos, you know, and his name's going to be Daddy.
All right, well, Dino Daddy, let's end this. That's everything we have for you today. So, Bobby, why don't you tell these fine folks what they should do if they've watched it this far in this video?
Make sure to subscribe. Really does, again, help us out. Doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe. Click that notification button so you can be notified when we have updated news, as well as one-off videos that we're going to be doing, you know, from time to time, definitely more frequently, as well as make sure you share the video, like the video, and please comment. We really enjoy talking to you in the comments, and I think I covered everything there, James. Oh,
I think you did. Yeah.
If you and make sure to check out the Chosen Prime and pick up Machine Wave.
Yes, if it didn't sell out, I don't know at this time. So, and if you're getting that, let us know below. Let us know what you think about it.
Yes.
All right, guys. So we will see you guys very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday, or whenever you watch this.